Right, just so you know what's coming, this is going to be a review of an episode of Stranger Things Series 5. Yes, that's right, I've seen The Crawl.
1, 2, 3. Brand new dancing color crop.
Right, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm Paul, this is my channel, at Mr. Cuddy2977, and yes, I'm going to talk about the first episode of Series 5 of Stranger Things. It's called The Crawl, and yes, for a TV show that heavily relies on Dungeons and Dragons, I'm ironically wearing a RuneQuest t-shirt complete with a chainmail bikini babe. There's possibly arguments for and against that, but hey, I liked the design. At any rate, like I say, this is my review of The Crawl, the first episode of Stranger Things 5. I thought I should tell you what I thought of the episode. Chapter 1, The Crawl, opens with an intertitle telling us it's the 12th of November 1983 and showing us a young Will Byers with Noah Schnapp's face on the body of child actor Luke Kokotek, hiding in the Upside Down, only to be captured by a fearsome Demogorgon and brought before Vecna, Jamie Campbell Bower, himself. The scene shifts to the opening credits for this episode and then to the Wheeler family home on the 3rd of November 1987, some 3.5 to 4 years later. It shows us that Joyce Byers, Winona Ryder, and her family have temporarily moved in with Ted and Karen Wheeler after the Byers family home was destroyed in Series 4. Things are looking tough for the whole town, especially as Hawkins has been quarantined by no less a personage than the US Army itself, giving Joyce, Hop, and the rest of the gang little option but to try and deal with the monsters from the Upside Down by sneaking into the army base every so often, without soldiers noticing and without getting the Wheelers in trouble. They do this only after they get help from Robin, Maya Hawke, who's now acting as the town's one radio broadcaster, and the broadcaster who gives them coded details of when the next army patrol to the Upside Down goes into action. That patrol to Hawkins' very own Hell Dimension is something that Robin and Steve, Joe Carey, found takes place tonight. Now, what did I make of this opening episode of Stranger Things 5? And what on earth is meant by the title, The Crawl? The definition is actually quite easy. Don't forget our main heroes, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will. When we see them in Series 1, back in that first episode, all of them are playing Dungeons and Dragons together. So they tend to call Hop, David Harbour's missions to the Upside Down, they call them crawls, as the term is a shortened version of the phrase Dungeon Crawl, as well as the title of a song by an Essex band called the Motel Kings. Go look it up sometimes. At any rate, it's a dungeon crawl. And it's a mission when people explore a dungeon to see what's there. As for the plot, this first episode is a nicely done little opener. It introduces or reintroduces us to the main cast. It introduces us to at least 2 new characters and ends on a definite cliffhanger, one I'm looking forward to seeing resolved next week. The Crawl is a nice opener and one hell of a blues tune. Seriously, look up the Motel Kings. Just as a brief sidestep here, as I've said, we're reintroduced to the regular cast and regular characters and see how they're growing since the last season. 11, for example, Millie Bobby Brown is becoming more of a soldier, an Ellen Ripley, if you will, whilst Will, Noah Schnapp, is facing his ever-growing psychic powers and learning how to deal with the warnings they're giving him. They the two prominent ones for me, although the rest of the characters are growing as well. Dustin, as one example, has become angrier since the death of Eddie Munson in Series 4, whilst Hop is ever more protective of his adopted daughter, Eleven. We are introduced, or reintroduced is possibly the correct term, to Holly Wheeler, Mike and Nancy's younger sister. Holly is unnoticed by her uncaring parents and busy siblings and is talking to someone only she can see, which is not the most reassuring of things if you're in a town like Hawkins. Meanwhile, we are also introduced to Dr. K, Linda Hamilton. About all we know about Dr. K is that she seems initially quite kindly. She seems to be purely interested in somebody she refers to as the girl. And given we know the soldiers working for and with her are hunting an 11 lookalike, but we've also been watching an episode that seems to focus on Holly Weaver, I have to wonder which girl Dr. K is talking about. So, finally, what did I think of The Crawl? An engrossing little episode, one that I found very watchable. Well, I will admit it, yes, I found it very watchable, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Granted, I don't think I was totally as engrossed as I could have been. Granted, I would have preferred Series 5 to pick up from 2022's Series 4, which, let's face it, isn't always possible. But The Crawl is a good opening episode. It kicks off this fifth series in good style. It reintroduces us to the familiar faces, and it introduces both Vecna, the villain of the series, and it introduces the possibly even scarier Dr. K. We'll have to keep watching and see how this goes, won't we? Right, that is where I'm going to leave things for now. I am also going to leave you with my thanks for watching this video or reading the original written version over on my blog, if that's what you've done. But before I go, I should say a couple of things. One, I will try and link to the song I've mentioned several times in this video, either up in the corner there or down in the information box. I will also tell you that I'm going to be watching the next episode of Stranger Things, The Vanishing of Holly Weaver, on Saturday the 14th of February, and I'll have my written and video reviews up by next Tuesday. I will also tell you to feel free to have a look at the rest of my content on YouTube and ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my blog, Knickknacks Old Peculiar. You're also free to tip because there's a tip jar in the corner. I need money, if nothing else, to buy more t-shirts like this. At any rate, whatever you do, whatever you say, whoever you are, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. And as one last thing, be seeing you.